warrior. Well, this is going to be video 1 in actually a new series that I'm going to try and do. This is going to be something totally different. I've never even tried doing anything like this before, but I made some pretty significant changes to the sleeping setup this year. Some people probably already know. I mean, well, you're going to know because you're going to see the thumbnail picture before you watch the video. And that's why you're going to watch the video, because you want to see this thing. So let's just check it out. The Warrior. Little Shop of Hammocks. Hopefully you guys can see in the background here. I decided to switch over to hammocking. It's something I've been thinking about for a while. And just recently decided, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I got a couple buddies with hammocks, and I've crawled into theirs a couple times and may have taken naps in them once or twice before. I mean, I've got a cheapo parachute hammock I got off Facebook for like 25 bucks. I hang that in the yard all the time, sleep in it all the time. So I kind of thought, you know what, let's just do it. I kind of just don't want to sleep in a tent anymore. After just doing North Boundary Trail, sleeping on an air pad for 9 days straight, by the end of it, I wasn't having the best sleeps. I've got a pretty comfortable Thermarest Evolite air pad. It's like 3 inches thick, but sleeping on an air pad is only going to get so good. So made the switch over to this guy. I don't really know what to say other than I am beyond impressed with the quality, the comfort, everything. For people who don't know, Little Shop of Hammocks is a cottage company out of Saskatchewan, Canada. Actually, where is it here? So yeah, part of my reason for going with this model hammock here, I was looking at Dream hammocks. Just, they're wicked, you know, they're so customizable. But at the same time, I found all the options really added up quick. So when you thought you were getting a fairly inexpensive hammock, once you start adding options, and it's so easy to miss things. And then Devin Outdoors, I will also link his YouTube channel down below. Solid guy. He helped me out so much with this purchase, as did Fonsdot, as did James himself from Little Shop of Hammocks. You guys were awesome, answering all my stupid, idiotic questions over the last couple weeks. Thank you guys so much. I definitely owe you guys big time. But Devin pointed me in the direction of Little Shop of Hammocks. I had no idea there was even Canadian hammock manufacturers. I Googled it before, and I honestly never came across these guys. So I went on James's site, was picking through, and this is basically the hammock that I wanted. I lucked out, and James actually had one already made in stock, so I didn't have to wait to get it. But yeah, the Morrocan Blue is my favorite color. Yeah, I absolutely love the color of this thing. Like, the build quality is unreal. Like, James makes these himself at home. Like, these are made at home. These are not produced in a factory. You know, like, he's got tie-outs on either side. This came with the shock cord and the line. Like, the stakes are my own, but like the quilt hooks, those came standard. Got those on both sides at the head end and the foot end. He also has it coated, so this side here, this is the head end, and it's the same color as the body of the hammock, but when you come over to the foot. I think this is called the peak. For any of you hammock guys, please correct me if I'm wrong. The quilt hook's at the end here. What I've got here on my turtle dog stand, I pulled my continuous loops out, and I actually used it for my turtle dog stand, which was an awesome idea. So that what I've got is I ran my whoopee slings through the gathered end of the hammock, and it's working as the continuous loop. I could have made the turtle dog shorter, obviously. I mean, this isn't a video on the turtle dog. If anybody wants to know how I built this thing or has any questions about it, feel free to ask me, and I'll do a video on it if anyone wants to see that. But I made it longer than most people do because I wanted to use my suspension. So I made it a little bit taller. Most people's only come up, like the peak of the tripod only comes up to about here. I made mine taller so that I could actually utilize my suspension, because before getting this, honestly, I have never had a hammock before. Like, aside from that cheapo $25 one that I literally rigged to my tree with like paracord. So I've never messed around with hammock suspensions before. I know they can be pretty finicky. You want to get that like that 30-degree angle, but I've also heard from a lot of people that everybody is different too. What I've found for myself, I don't know if you guys can tell because like I'm on a slant, but I've actually got my foot end a little bit higher than my head end. I don't know if that's like a design feature on the hammock. I haven't actually asked James that, but I like laying like that. I just find it more comfortable. So I drop my head end. It's about, I would say maybe 6 to 8 inches lower than my foot end. But yeah, and then it's got a tie out on the other side too, kind of where your feet go. So this is a right lay hammock. So when I climb into the hammock from this side here, I kick my feet to the right side. So you can kind of see, like, I basically try and line my shoulder up here and kick my feet over towards where those zippers are. It's got full zippers around the whole thing. If you notice, that zipper tracks all the way up and around. That's right, the bug net comes off this thing, which is awesome, but it doesn't disappear. So I'm not gonna fully retract it because I only have one hand. I don't know if I can get it. Oh, maybe I can. Like this is one-handed. Like, just how awesome those zippers pull. So anyways, when you've got that, on the inside here, let's pull the bug net out of the way. There's this little shock cord with a cord lock, and what you do, so the bug net doesn't actually come out. The zippers stop at this triangle that's sewn in here, and the zippers stop, so the bug net is not completely removable, so it always stays with the hammock, but you roll it up and then wrap it into that shock cord. Okay, so you guys can see I got the bug net fully rolled back now. It is super easy to roll back. And then it just kind of stuffs up in there on the cord lock, shock cord, and you're good to go. One thing I really like to, just cool features that James added in, and these are standard on all his hammocks. You don't pay extra for these, so like the quilt hooks, standard. These little tabs that come through from the quilt hooks that are inside the hammock are standard. And he's got this little loop here on the Ridgeline. So it's kind of buried in. This is, I'm pretty sure this is an M steel Ridgeline. Wicked stuff, like same stuff that the whoopee slings are made out of. I'll do a separate video on those. Those are freaking cool. So he's got this little hook added on here. Like, that's all standard. Same at the other end too. So from the quilt hooks, the fabric loops on both sides. This side you don't have shock cord or anything up in there, but you do have the loop on the Ridgeline. And then the Ridgeline organizer, really good size, slides back and forth, super light. You've got 2 mesh pockets on either side. One looks like it's about twice the size. Here, I'll put my phone kind of lengthwise to let you see. So it's a Samsung Galaxy S8. And then gives you an idea of the height of the pocket. So it's basically right to the top of my phone. Exact same on the other side, but they're flipped. So where like the small pocket on the other side is here, on this side it's here, if that makes sense. They're just crossed. And then what I think is super cool about this thing is right through the center, it's hollow all the way through. So if you reach through, you can pass all the way through, but that's a good size. Like you can fit, I fit a full Nalgene bottle in there, you know, quickly stash your phone in there, whatever. But yeah, super cool. Lots of awesome little, for people who don't know, like the purpose of your Ridgeline is it attaches here. You probably kind of see it, the light blue tucked underneath there. It attaches on your gathered end at either side, and basically it makes it so that it gives you like the correct lay all the time. Like you still want to try and get your suspension to about that 30 degrees. I don't know, I saw this trick from someone on YouTube before. I don't know, if I look like an idiot and I'm embarrassing myself, please let me know, guys. Because yeah, like I said, this is my very first hammock. This is my first video on hammocks. Like I've got a tarp, I've got that kind of stuff coming in, so I'll do videos on that, and I'm probably gonna mess stuff up, and you know, just yeah, help me out, come along. This is gonna be cool. But this is a right lay hammock, so when you lay in it, your head end goes here, and your feet don't go straight. You don't want to go straight because you'll lay like a banana, and that's really uncomfortable. But the way that this hammock is designed is you can kind of see it when I kind of stretch this back, how like nice and flat it is in there. Grass out of here. But actually here, let's just climb in. Why not? Oh, we sit down, kick our shoes off, just sling our feet over, kick our feet off to the left, with our head off to the right, and just like that, we are laying pretty flat, pretty comfy. I mean, like I'm a side sleeper, so I tend to actually turn kind of just kick myself on the side like this, and it just, oh, insanely comfortable. Like it's cool having this Ridgeline organizer up above you, so you know, like tuck the phone in there, water bottle through here, whatever. Attach my GoPro up here, my charging station, so like all my electronics can be charging up here overnight, which is wicked. Yeah, it's super roomy in here. Like, I mean, it's, yeah, it's big. It's an 11-foot hammock. Alright guys, so we're inside. I'm just going to do some weights. I'm just going to weigh everything because the hammock as it comes will come with the 2 continuous loops. But as I've got them taken off and I've got the whoopee slings ran through, honestly, it's not, like I do fully intend on using the continuous loops, but it's just the way, like the size of my turtle dog stand, with my continuous loops, the whoopee slings are too long. So I can't actually, like I hit the ground. So that's why I had to pull the continuous loops out, like they're 8-inch continuous loops, right? So yeah, you take out that space, and it gives me the ability to play around with my suspension too, and I can kind of adjust it and mess with the whoopee slings. So I'm basically just going to do weights and everything. So my suspension system obviously is with the whoopee slings. So I've got 2 8-foot tree straps, and then I just have these lightweight aluminum. They're like 1,000 pound or 10,000 pound rated carabiners. I'm just using these in place of a toggle for my marlin spike hitch. I am going to get some titanium toggles and swap these out. These are just like, this is just if I was going to go out right now, this is how I would hang the hammock because this is what I have to hang it. So get the scale on. 774 grams, so 1 pound, 11 3/8 of an ounce, and it will get lighter. I'm going to be switching the straps out. I think I'm going to get some Dyneema straps just to save some weight, and then I've got some titanium toggles coming in to replace these carabiners because they are yeah, that's 2.5 ounces just on the carabiners, so adds weight. And then so they're 2 1/8 ounce a piece, so that'll be 4 1/4 of an ounce. I don't know. I'm gonna switch it out for Dyneema just because it's cooler, but I have these for now. These will work. I mean, eventually down the line, that stuff will get changed out. So what I'm gonna do for connecting my it's going to go tree strap, marlin spike hitch, and then the whoopee sling. And then to connect the whoopee sling to my continuous loops, I've got these 2 multi-buckles. I've got one in red, one in gray. The way that I will position these in the stuff sack is with the multi-buckles sitting out, and these will just kind of get just lark's headed onto these continuous loops. So that'll stay affixed to the continuous loop. So this will be coming out the end of my hammock, or just out the end of the stuff sack, so I'll know when I see the red one, oh, that's the head of the hammock. Wicked. So when this is coming off of my hammock, let's just say, for instance, this is the closed end on my whoopee sling. So what will happen is you just literally, it's as simple as that, and that's what hangs my hammock. Yeah, super cool. And these buckles too, you can use these to make, you can use these in place of like a Dutch clip to go around a tree, or you can run your webbing through these things. You can hook, like I showed you, you can hook your continuous loops up to your whoopee slings with it. You can use this as your toggle for your marlin spike hitch, which is kind of cool. But I'm going to use these to connect my whoopee slings to my continuous loops. So that's everything, guys. Like I said, we're going to start a series about this one. So if anybody's got questions, whatever, fire them my way. Thanks for watching.